All right, let's jump right in today. We're going to be diving into the world of PR measurement.
Okay.
And, you've sent over some really great sources
Yeah.
focusing on the role of human analysts in this whole age of like powerful algorithms.
Right.
Looks like you're really trying to get a handle on this balance between automated tools and like good old-fashioned human expertise.
Right.
Super smart move, because I think that's only becoming more and more relevant, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We even have a case study about a consumer goods company that I think really shows why just looking at the numbers
Yeah.
isn't always going to cut it.
It's really, it's about understanding the whole picture.
Right.
Public perception, sentiment, how your brand is being talked about.
Totally.
That's where things get interesting.
And, speaking of interesting, one of the articles you sent over mentioned that automated PR measurement tools can be wrong almost half the time.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of a big deal when you're talking about your brand's reputation.
Yeah, that's right. It's not just about getting things mostly right.
Yeah.
You need accuracy to make the best strategic decisions.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like everyone's talking about AI and algorithms these days. Where do those tools fit into this whole conversation?
Well, they're fantastic for gathering huge amounts of data quickly.
Okay.
Imagine casting a wide net across the entire media landscape. That's what these tools are doing.
So they're great for speed
Speed, yeah.
and efficiency, but I'm guessing there's more to it than just like gathering data.
Absolutely. The real magic happens when skilled human analysts step in.
Okay.
They sift through that data, add context, and pull out insights that you can actually use.
Great.
They're the ones who can spot things like subtle criticism or industry-specific jargon that an algorithm might miss.
Okay, so this makes me think about that case study we were talking about,
Yeah.
the one with the consumer goods company. What was going on there?
Yeah, so they were launching a new product.
Yeah.
And using an automated tool to track the media coverage.
Mm-hmm.
The tool showed mostly positive sentiment,
Okay.
making it seem like the launch was a huge success.
So everything looked good from like the surface, but...
But the analysts at P+ Measurement Services
Yeah.
took a closer look and found something very different.
Oh.
They noticed that there were a lot of negative undertones,
Okay.
that the algorithm had missed things like concerns about the product's environmental impact
Right.
and even some sarcasm about the marketing campaign.
Wow. So the company thought everything was fine, but there was actually a lot of like negativity bubbling under the surface.
Exactly, and it could have been a disaster for them
Right.
if they hadn't had those human analysts digging deeper.
It sounds like that company was really lucky to have those analysts on their team.
They were very lucky.
So what did they do once they like uncovered all of that negative sentiment?
Well, they were able to change their messaging
Okay.
and address the concerns that people were raising.
Yep.
They even redesigned the packaging
Wow.
based on some of the feedback.
It turned a potential PR nightmare into a chance to improve.
That's a great example of how powerful human analysis can be.
It is.
It's like the algorithm gave them a blurry map,
Yeah.
but the human analysts provided the clear directions they needed to get where they wanted to go.
That's a great analogy. And this applies to more than just gauging sentiment.
Yeah.
Think about SWOT analysis.
Okay.
Algorithms can pull together some data about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, but they can't provide the deep strategic insights
Right.
that human analysts can.
Right. I'm remembering another example from those P+ Measurement Services materials where they helped a client uncover some hidden threats and weaknesses
Yeah.
in their communication approach that the automated reports had totally missed.
Yes. They were able to connect the dots and see patterns that the algorithm simply couldn't.
Right.
It led to some strategic changes that really helped the client improve their reputation.
So what I'm hearing is that algorithms are great for gathering data.
But human analysts are still crucial for providing context, uncovering hidden insights, and making those strategic decisions.
Exactly. It's not about choosing one over the other.
Right.
The ideal approach is to use them together.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like having a high-powered engine
Yeah.
and a skilled driver working together.
I like that. And to continue that analogy, relying only on automated tools is like trying to navigate a complex route with a map that's missing crucial details.
Okay.
You might get a general sense of where you are, but you're likely to get lost.
That's a really good point. In the world of PR, those wrong turns can be pretty costly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In today's media environment, you can't afford to just get things right most of the time.
This has been so helpful. We've learned that those human analysts really bring something special to the table,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to context and strategy, but there's still so much to uncover.
Definitely.
What are some of the other things that human analysts are better at picking up on that algorithms might miss?
We'll consider sentiment analysis, for example.
Hmm.
An algorithm might see the words "great job" and automatically tag it as positive, even if the context is sarcastic.
Oh, like so bad it's good movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Algorithms miss that irony.
Yeah.
But human analysts can understand those subtleties of language.
Right.
They also consider the overall tone and context of the content to get a more accurate sense of the true sentiment.
This makes me think about the importance of cultural awareness, too.
Yeah,
What might be neutral in one culture could be offensive in another.
absolutely. Algorithms struggle with that nuance.
Right.
But human analysts bring their understanding of different cultures to ensure things are being interpreted correctly.
So we keep coming back to this idea of context being key.
Yes, context is key.
Algorithms can give us the raw data,
They can.
but it takes human intelligence to really understand what it all means.
Exactly. And that's why at P Plus Measurement Services,
Uh-huh.
we believe that a strong human element is essential to any successful PR measurement strategy.
This is giving me a much clearer picture of why that balance between automation and human expertise is so important.
It's a powerful combination.
And it's fascinating to think about how our reliance on data has evolved in PR.
Oh, it's been a really interesting journey.
It used to be all about media impressions and clip counts, right?
Exactly. But
Yeah.
now, thanks to automation,
Yeah,
we have access to so much more data.
it's true.
We can track things like social media engagement, website traffic, even sentiment in real time.
It's really incredible.
That's incredible.
It's amazing how much data is at our fingertips.
It is.
But I guess it's also important to remember that data is just a tool.
You're absolutely right. It's not a magic bullet.
Yeah,
Data can tell us what's happening, but it can't always tell us why.
right.
And it certainly can't tell us what to do about it. That's where the human element comes in.
So we need people who can analyze the data.
Analyze.
Yeah, make connections and develop strategies.
Exactly. It's not about replacing humans with machines.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance and leveraging the strengths of both.
Balance. It really does seem to be the key to success in so many areas of life.
It really does.
And PR measurement is no exception.
It's about finding that sweet spot where technology and human intelligence work together in perfect harmony.
Right.
And when we achieve that balance, the results can be amazing.
You've painted such a clear picture of how important that human expertise is.
It's crucial.
But what does that expertise actually look like in action?
Good question.
What are some of the skills and qualities that make someone a truly great PR analyst?
One of the most important qualities is critical thinking.
Okay.
A good analyst needs to be able to look at the data with a discerning eye
Uh-huh.
and be able to spot patterns, trends, and things that just don't seem quite right.
So it's not just about crunching numbers, it's about really thinking critically about what those numbers mean.
Exactly. It's also about being able to communicate those insights in a way that's clear and easy to understand.
Yeah. Makes sense. Data is only useful if people can understand it and use it to make decisions.
Right.
So we need analysts who are data savvy, but also excellent communicators.
Precisely. They need to be able to tell a story with the data
Mm-hmm.
and bring it to life in a way that resonates with people.
I love that it's about weaving a narrative, not just throwing numbers at people.
Exactly. Another crucial quality is curiosity.
Okay.
A great analyst is always asking questions, digging deeper, looking for those insights that others might miss.
Always on a quest for knowledge.
Yes, always learning.
That's got to be so important when you're dealing with something as fast-paced and constantly changing as the media landscape.
Absolutely. The media landscape is constantly evolving, so analysts need to be adaptable.
Right.
They have to be comfortable with ambiguity, embrace new technologies, and learn new platforms as they emerge.
It sounds like being a PR analyst is anything but boring.
It's a dynamic field for sure.
It's dynamic, always changing, intellectually stimulating.
It absolutely is, and it's a field that's only going to become more important.
Right. As the volume of data continues to grow,
Yeah.
the need for skilled human analysts will only increase.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I have a much deeper
Well,
understanding
I'm glad to hear that.
of the complexities of PR measurement and that vital role human analysts play.
It's a fascinating field.
But we're running out of time for this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll continue exploring this fascinating topic.
Sound good?
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of PR measurement.
Thanks for having me back.
It's amazing how much has changed this field,
Yeah.
especially with the rise of social media.
It really has been a game changer. Social media has completely transformed the way we communicate and the way we consume information.
Right.
It's also had a major impact on how we measure the success of PR.
That makes sense. It's no longer just about like tracking mentions
Right.
in newspapers and magazines.
Exactly.
Now we've got to consider likes and shares and comments and all these sorts of like new metrics. It's exactly. Social media has given us a wealth of new data points to look at.
Right.
It's also made it much easier to see the impact of PR campaigns in real time.
So it's a double-edged sword, right?
It is.
More data and more opportunities, but also more complexity.
Precisely. And it's important to remember that social media is a very different beast than traditional media.
Okay.
It's much more conversational, interactive, and driven by user-generated content.
So we have to change our measurement strategies to fit this new landscape.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the unique characteristics of each platform and tailor our metrics to match the goals of each campaign.
Okay, so like we wouldn't use the same metrics to measure the success of a Twitter campaign as we would for like a billboard campaign.
Exactly. Each platform has its own strengths and weaknesses,
Right.
and we need to understand those when we develop our measurement strategies.
This is all starting to make a lot of sense.
Good.
But I have to admit, it can feel a bit overwhelming at times.
I understand.
There are so many platforms, so many metrics, and the landscape is always changing. Where do we even begin?
That's a great point. It can definitely feel overwhelming. That's why it's so important to have a clear strategy in place before you even start measuring anything.
So we need to start with the end in mind.
Yes.
Like, what are we actually trying to achieve with this campaign?
Exactly.
And what metrics will help us know if we're successful?
Exactly. Once you understand your goals,
Yeah.
you can start to figure out which metrics are the most relevant.
Yeah.
And remember, it's not about tracking every single metric under the sun.
So it's about quality over quantity when it comes to choosing our metrics.
Absolutely. Focus on the metrics that are the most meaningful and that you can actually take action on.
That's a really helpful reminder. It's easy to get lost in the weeds
It is.
and forget what we're actually trying to achieve.
You're absolutely right. That's why it's so important to have a clear strategy and to regularly check that your metrics are still aligned with your goals.
You know, we've talked a lot about the challenges of PR measurement in this age of social media, but let's not forget about like the incredible opportunities.
Oh, absolutely.
Social media has given us such powerful tools
Mm-hmm.
to connect with people, build relationships,
Right.
and see the impact of our work in real time.
Absolutely. Social media has really democratized communication and given everyone a voice. It's also made it easier than ever to track conversations,
Yeah.
understand sentiment, and see how people are engaging with our content.
It's almost like having a giant focus group at our fingertips.
Exactly. And that's incredibly valuable for PR professionals. We can use this data to refine our messaging, target our audiences more effectively, and really prove the value of the work we're doing.
It sounds like social media has been both a blessing and a curse for PR measurement.
It has been a bit of both.
More data,
Yeah.
more opportunity, but also more complexity and more challenges.
That's a great way to put it. It's a brave new world out there, and we need to be prepared to navigate it effectively.
Right.
And that means embracing the power of technology while also remembering how important human expertise is.
And that brings us back to like the main point of our deep dive today.
It does.
We've covered so much ground,
We have.
but it feels like we've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating topic. There's so much more to explore.
There really is. And as the media landscape continues to evolve,
Yeah.
we'll need to keep learning and adapting our strategies to stay ahead of the curve.
So what are some of the things we can do to make sure our measurement strategies are keeping pace with all these changes?
Well,
I mean, the PR world is constantly evolving. How can we stay ahead of the game?
the key is to be adaptable and to embrace a mindset of continuous learning.
Okay.
We need to be constantly experimenting with new tools and approaches. We also need to be willing to challenge the ways we've always done things.
So it's not about finding that one perfect solution.
Right.
It's more about being flexible and willing to change with the times.
Exactly what worked yesterday might not work today.
Yeah.
We need to be agile and responsive in the face of a constantly changing media landscape.
I love that agility is so important, especially in a fast-paced world like ours.
It is.
But it can be tough to stay agile when you're dealing with these massive amounts of data and complicated algorithms. How can we make sure that our human analysts aren't getting lost in the technical details and losing sight of the bigger picture?
That's where training and development come in.
Okay.
We need to invest in our teams and make sure they have the skills and knowledge to succeed in this data-driven world. That means providing them with opportunities to learn about new technologies experiment with different analytical approaches, and develop their critical thinking skills.
It sounds like we need to create a culture of data literacy
Yes,
within our PR teams.
absolutely. Everyone who works in PR measurement needs to have a basic understanding of data analysis, even if they're not the ones actually crunching the numbers.
It's like that old saying, knowledge is power.
Exactly. Everyone on the team needs to be able to understand the insights that are being generated and use those insights to inform their decisions.
That makes a lot of sense. At the end of the day, PR is about telling stories, and data can be a powerful storytelling tool.
You can.
But it takes a skilled human to interpret that data and craft a narrative that resonates with audiences.
Precisely. Data can help us understand our audiences better, identify important trends, and measure the impact of our campaigns.
Right.
But it's up to us to use that data creatively and in a way that connects with people.
We've been talking a lot about the role of human analysts in PR measurement, but what about the future of automation in this field? What advancements are you most excited about?
There are so many exciting things happening in the world of automation. One area I'm particularly interested in is natural language processing.
Oh, yeah.
This technology is allowing us to analyze text data in much more sophisticated ways, and it's helping us understand like sentiment, identify themes, and even predict future trends.
So we're getting closer and closer to being able to really understand like the nuances of human language.
We are. It's a fascinating field.
That's incredible.
It really is. Another area I'm excited about is machine learning.
Okay.
This allows us to build algorithms that can actually learn from data and improve their performance over time.
Wow.
This means we can automate more and more tasks,
Right.
which frees up our human analysts to focus on the more strategic elements of PR measurement.
It's not about replacing humans with machines,
Right.
but using machines to enhance those human capabilities.
Exactly. The future of PR measurement is about finding that sweet spot where technology and human intelligence work together in perfect harmony.
You've given us so much to think about today,
My pleasure.
and it's clear that both automation and human expertise are crucial to the future of PR measurement. Are there any final thoughts you'd like to leave with our listener?
The world of PR measurement is always evolving. Embrace the changes, stay curious, and never stop learning. The key is to remember that data is a tool, and like any tool, it's only as good as the person using it.
This has been such a fascinating conversation.
It has.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. Today, we'll be back soon to continue our deep dive into the world of PR measurement. We've been talking so much about technology and like human insight and all of that, and it makes me think about, the ethical side of things.
Yeah.
Like with all this data available,
Yeah,
we have to use it responsibly.
absolutely. Data ethics is a crucial consideration in PR measurement.
Okay.
It's not just about gathering and analyzing information. It's
Yeah.
about doing it the right way.
So what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, for one thing, we need to be mindful of privacy concerns and data security. It's about protecting people's information and making sure we're not misusing it.
It's like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
We have access to these like incredibly powerful tools.
We do.
And it's up to us to use them ethically and, respect people's privacy.
Absolutely. Transparency is also really important.
Okay.
People have a right to know how their data is being collected and used.
Right.
We need to be upfront about our methods and make sure everything is above board.
It's about building trust,
Trust. Yeah,
both with the people whose data we're using and with the public.
absolutely. We need to be leaders in this space and set a good example for other industries.
It's true. You've given us so much to think about today.
It's been a great conversation.
It's been a fascinating journey into this world of like PR measurement.
It really has. And it's a field that's constantly changing.
It is.
The tools are evolving, the landscape is shifting,
Yeah.
and we have to stay agile to keep up.
So any final words of wisdom for our listener
Sure.
as they navigate this, complex and ever-changing landscape?
Embrace the changes, stay curious, and never stop learning. The world of PR measurement is full of possibilities, and by combining the best of technology with the power of human insight, we can achieve amazing results.
This has been so fun. Thank you so much for, guiding us through this deep dive.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. We hope you've gained some valuable insights that will help you navigate this fascinating world of PR measurement. Until next time.